Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Making the Most of Career Services. My name is Adam Mayer, and I'm the Director of Career Development in the Center for Career Services here at Montclair State University. Today, we'll cover an overview on what career services can do for you. We'll discuss all that's offered, including career fairs, employer-led information sessions, experiential education, and who to contact for assistance. You will have the opportunity to submit questions by typing them into the questions pane of the control panel. You can send in your questions at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them as time permits. Please note, this webinar allows us to gauge your attentiveness. If you leave the webinar early or visit a separate web page, this inactivity will be viewable to the administrators. A QR code will be provided at the end of the webinar for you to scan for the suitable app to ensure your attendance. So here's our agenda. We're going to look at how career advising works. We're going to look at self-assessment, the career development services in general, as I mentioned, experiential education, and then finally social media. So hopefully this looks like something you've seen before. This is what's called Hire a Red Hawk. This is your online career management system. You already have an account in there. You can get to it through montclair.edu/career-services. You'll log in using your Montclair NetID and password. And once you do so, what I'm going to strongly recommend you do once a semester is go down on the right-hand side and click on Career Counseling. Hire a Red Hawk knows whether you're declared or undeclared, and it will give you the calendar and the available times and days that your career advisor is available to meet with you. So let's say you go into Hire a Red Hawk, you click on Career Counseling, you have an appointment, you're ready to go. What kind of things do you want to bring to the table? Because these people are part of your professional network, and we really want to make a lasting impression on them. So these are some questions I recommend you bring when you go to your appointment with your career advisor. If you ask them the first two questions, they won't forget you. And that's the point. We want them to remember us. So what are some job titles MSU graduates have based on my major? The answers to that first question helps to demystify the job search process, because they're going to be able to share with you the job titles of folks who've already graduated who are pursuing the same major as you. That helps when you go into, say Indeed.com or Hire a Red Hawk. You can automatically know what job titles translate from your major. The second one, so what are some of the top employers for my major? This is especially helpful come senior year when you're doing a full-time job search. You can have a list of top 10 employers who hire MSU graduates that have the same major as you. So again, this is all about demystifying the process between major and type of employer. Here too, you can always ask them for feedback on a resume, on a cover letter. What I might do if I made my appointment in advance of the appointment, I would email my career advisor both my resume and cover letter so that they have it. Maybe they can provide feedback in a more efficient way once you meet face-to-face with them. So, and it's just a good way to sort of expedite the appointment. Other questions to ask your career advisor: when should I pursue a co-op or an internship? Typically, the time when you can start the process is you need 30 credits under your belt from Montclair State. So that's typically the beginning of sophomore year. I would meet with the career advisor and start talking about, like we said, the resume. They can help you with mock interviewing and really sort of get you prepped for the process. The difference between the two there, a co-op, this is a credit-bearing internship that's based on your major. So it's kind of like, it's an internship for sure, but it's much more highly structured because it's an academic class. You do get course credit for it. Obviously it's a resume builder and so on, but that's typically the difference. These sort of internships, these could be listed through, internships.com, Hire a Red Hawk, and so on, but they're typically not going to offer credit. So that tends to be the difference between the two. Another question you can ask them: what advice can you share with me regarding the job search? Hopefully they're aware of, trends, patterns in the job search. Artificial intelligence and sort of the interviewing process is now, coming to the fore. You might want to talk about that. What else? Oh, this is a good one. So the last one here is there someone you recommend I reach out to or network with based on my career goals? When you ask this question of faculty, professional staff, people you meet that you network with in general, if they have somebody, a colleague or somebody who's part of their network, and they refer you to them, that's when your network grows exponentially. And we want to do that. So always ask that last question when you meet with somebody and they're aware of your career goals. So self-assessment, that's another service that we do offer. This is online, an interactive guidance program. This is where it looks at your interests, your values, your personality and skills. And self-assessment through Focus 2 can be accessed through our website. And again, that's down here at the bottom. So montclair.edu/career-services. And you can get to this online tool. And what's really good about it is it looks at the results, your likes and dislikes, and then it recommends majors here at Montclair. So this is a good program for two reasons, because if you want affirmation on what you're studying, this is a good place you may find it. But if you're undeclared and you're not sure what you want to get into, this could sort of be, a resource that can give you suggestions. So you do not have a Focus 2 account right off the bat. You do have to register and create one. This is very important. So your access code is Red Hawk. All the other information, certainly you'll have to supply, except for the one down here. So when you select the type of user, we've created a little category for you guys for the Presidential Scholars. You want to indicate Presidential Scholar. This way, all you guys are in one group, and it's just helpful for reporting purposes. So again, you don't have an account yet. You go through our main page, montclair.edu/career-services. Insert Red Hawk as the access code, and then type of user, choose Presidential Scholar. So what does it look like? This is a screenshot of what's inside Focus 2, and you can see there in the center I've circled self-assessment. I do strongly recommend, in addition to making an appointment with your career advisor, to conduct self-assessment here. There's 5 different modules, so it looks at work interests, your personality. What's interesting about this inventory is it takes into account things you like to do when you're off the clock. So it looks at leisure. It looks at your values. So the things that motivate you, your intrinsic values and otherwise. And then finally, it looks at skills. So again, you create your Focus 2 account, complete each one of these modules. Each one takes 10 to 15 minutes. And once you're done, click on this, Combine Assessments. So this is kind of like going to 5 different doctors to see what they're going to recommend. And with this sort of overlap, you'll see on the next page, once you combine them, they'll suggest majors at Montclair State that match your interests, as well as job families. What's nice too is this draws from what's called the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So we've got salary data, and sure, each of these is a link, it'll give you a description, the daily activities, how to get into this sort of position. It'll look at, well, this one's interesting. So bright outlook. So the economists are suggesting that art therapist is going to be on the rise. So you can sort of gauge where it is that you are in your search and look at what opportunities there might be more of. So again, this is Focus 2. You do each of the 5 modules, combine the results, and then you can start to look at majors at Montclair State that relate to your interests. Additional career development services, we provide workshops, both online and employer-led. The employer-led ones are great because then you get to network with them. You stay after the presentation, maybe you get a business card from them, maybe send them a connection request on LinkedIn in order to expand your network. That's a good way to do it. We do also offer what's called on-campus recruitment. This is where employers come to campus and interview you here. It's a convenient feature, and it can be pretty helpful. Sometimes it's a follow-up service after the career fair. Once you meet with an employer, they may come back and interview you as a result of that service. And then here too, employer relations. Employers call us all the time. They email us all the time, and they have positions that they want to have filled because Montclair State University students have a strong reputation. We then direct them to hire a Red Hawk. They create accounts and post positions there. So again, you definitely want to get in and hire a Red Hawk for a number of reasons. Moving forward, so these are upcoming career services events for the spring. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just a screenshot of a few of them upcoming. So here's an example of an on-campus interview service. That's December 5th, and the employer will be interviewing for fashion design, video production, and marketing interns for spring 2019. If you're interested in a seasonal job, and this is when employers start to interview, so that's on February 5th. They need to fill their positions, and if you're interested, it's seasonal and camp jobs. This fair is pretty cool. So we got camp counselors, lifeguards, sales associates, and so on. Here's a full-on career fair, February 20th. This is government, law, and nonprofit career and internship fair. Again, this is where you meet face-to-face with employers, do the networking thing, have an elevator pitch, so you can share what it is that what you can do. Some of your top skills, that kind of stuff. And then finally, March 20th, Health and Environmental and Science Career and Internship Fair. Again, face-to-face with employers. It's a great way to do it. In addition, April 3rd, that will be the Arts, Communication, and Entertainment Career Fair. April 17th, will be the Business, Sales, and Technology Career Fair. And the cool thing about these fairs, whether you're declared or undeclared, everybody's welcome. You don't need a specific major or be in a specific college or school to attend these events. It's open to all students and alumni. So we could throw that out there too. So experiential education. Long story short, this is a more in-depth conversation about the credit-bearing internship, and they call it cooperative education. This is, again, where you meet with your career advisor. Once you have 30 credits under your belt, again, beginning of, say, sophomore year, and you look at the opportunities that relate to your major. So the analogy is this. You teach yourself by way of experience, right? So I always use, hey, the weather's starting to go south, right? It's starting to get cold, so you need a new coat. If you go to the store, you check it out, it's the right size, you got enough cash. But what do you do before you typically buy a coat? Well, we try it on. So if we're trying on a coat to see if it fits, why wouldn't we do that with our major and possibly, a future occupation? Now, if you did a cooperative education internship, again, it's a win-win-win. You get course credit, you get a resume builder, you can add that right to your resume, and then you get self-knowledge because you tried it on, you experienced it. And even if it doesn't work out, if you find that the internship experience wasn't good, it's still okay because then you know what you might not want to pursue. So again, you're trying these things on. So this is a list of previous cooperative education placements by college and school. So MSU students actually worked with these folks. So College of Education and Human Services, we can see that they interned and got course credit at UMDNJ. We can see some household names here. We can see some mom and pops. We got Verizon there, nursing home. So with the School of Business, students in the past have been placed at Disney, Atlantic Records, College of the Arts. We got DK International, BET, ABC, The Daily Show. So, we're not far from New York City, so a lot of these opportunities can be obtained. So a few more. The College of Humanities and Social Science, we've got Sony, CBS, Christopher and Dana Reeve, GI Go Fund, and then finally the College of Science and Math. We can see Students interned and got course credit at laboratories, pediatric center, dentists, eye exam. Lot of opportunities. You really want to consider pursuing this co-op experience, because it's just, like I said, it's a win-win-win. So these are a little bit more involved, because typically if you do a co-op during the semester, it's 3 credits, it's 1 class, but we do offer what's called the Washington Center. This is a prestigious program, and this is what's called a semester-long internship. So you can see here, you can accumulate up to 15 credits during that semester. You no longer live here. You live and work in DC. So in terms of pricing, it's typically a wash. So the amount of, the amount of money it costs to attend Montclair and get 15 credits, and the internship in the Washington Center, it's the same. The only thing that would be different is if you had housing. If you weren't doing housing here, of course, you would need it in DC. That's typically about $5,000 for the semester. And New Jersey resident students do get a $1,000 scholarship. So it drops the price a little bit. I've seen people go to this program and come back, and they're changed in a good way. They have professional development, they develop a portfolio, and they develop contacts in the nation's capital. And here too, do you have to be a political science major or have any interest in politics to go to the Washington Center? Absolutely not. Student a couple semesters ago was a graphic design major. He went to DC and interned with a graphic designer. So not a bad opportunity. So this is another semester-long experiential education program. We can see here that this is through Disney. And again, you can accumulate multiple credits, this one up to 12. And you can do that in Orlando. You can do that in California, a couple of different places to go. So again, this is where you really immerse yourself in these sort of opportunities and accumulate multiple credits, and you're no longer here on campus. You're literally in another state, which some folks look for. So we do have our social networking sites out there. Certainly we've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn's a biggie, and then YouTube. So if we just look at our YouTube channel for a second, and we'll finish up. So that's the address for our YouTube channel on MSU Career Workshops. You can see that we have different workshops. There's a good one on cover letters. There's a good one on resumes, tracking systems, LinkedIn in your career, and so on. So if any of this stuff during the time that you've sat with us you want to know more about, or just refresh, certainly take advantage of career services. And at some point in the future, we will archive this webinar that we're doing now on this channel. And again, it's a YouTube channel, sure, and it's at MSU Career Workshops. So we can pause here if there's any questions. I'll give you a minute.
Hi, Adam.
Yes.
Could you go over for everybody how they would find out who their career advisor is?
Sure. We could go back. Let's see. So that can be obtained through Hire a Red Hawk. So again, you're going to go to montclair.edu/career-services, and you'll see Hire a Red Hawk listed there on the left-hand side of the page. So again, once you log in and you use your net ID and password just like anything else, it knows your major, it knows your information. And then once you log in and you see this sort of page, on the right-hand side, it'll say Career Counseling. And then from there, they'll give you their calendar, and you'll see their name and their location. And what it might do too is go to that college's like Career Success Center. They have those, and you can look them up and see what their names are and that sort of thing. But the easiest way would be to go through here. Otherwise, you can go through, say you're in humanities. I would go to the career services page for the humanities, and then there's usually a link on the left that says contact us or staff, that sort of thing. And in fact, you could probably go through here. So again, let's see. So here's our main page. So again, /career services, scroll down. You can click on career counseling. There's Hire Red Hawk, by the way. So in each college and school has their own career advisor. So again, let's say you're in humanities, career services contact information. So Nadine Verder as the director. There's the email address and phone number. And again, you will have to go into Hire Red Hawk to request that appointment. So again, that's through our main site. You can even scroll, maybe you're in science and math. You can see a little bit of information. So Janae Hinson is the career services director, the email address and the phone number. But again, you do need to sign in to Hire Red Hawk in order to make those appointments. So if we go back one more time, so montclair.edu/career services, scroll down, click on career counseling, and then find each college and school, right? Open it up, get the information. Those are those folks you can email your resume to or otherwise. But again, we want to go through Hire Red Hawk first. Good question. Good question. Other questions?
We have another question come through.
Okay.
We actually have a couple. The first is, if you could explain a little bit more about the Disney College program.
Okay.
In terms of what you would do there as an intern.
So let's see. Let's go back there. So it would depend on your major. Some folks, maybe they're majoring in public relations, so they might be the face of one of the organizations, one of the departments there in Disney. Some folks get into the retail area over there. There's a lot of different opportunities, but to get the specifics, I would definitely meet with the career advisor because they would be able to give you the definitive answer. But yeah, I've heard folks do retail. I've heard them do public relations. I've heard folks do marketing. Again, it depends on your major because they try and tie the positions that you have based on your major.
And Adam, another question that came through was about internships and I believe co-ops as well, and the eligibility requirements. The student wants to know if internships are only available to juniors and seniors.
No, not at all. So again, you need 30 credits under your belt here at Montclair. If you've transferred in and you have an associate's degree, you can begin pursuing a credit-bearing internship right away. If you've transferred in and you don't have a full associate's, all you need is 9 credits. But if you're coming in as a freshman, you need 30 credits. Then you go into Hire Red Hawk, make an appointment with your career advisor, and then start pursuing the opportunities that are available based on your major.
Thank you. And there is a question about Focus 2.
Yes.
When setting up their registration, instead of putting presidential scholars as their group, is there a way to put in their major as a group?
There isn't, but if you didn't want to do presidential scholar, I do recommend, if you are one, putting that in. But if you're recommending it to somebody else, you can just put not undeclared, but undergraduate student.
Thank you. And I think we have just one more question okay. Jumping back to the Disney College program.
Okay.
Wants to know if how many credits they can receive for the Disney College program and if that would delay graduation.
No, that's a good question. So typically you can earn from 3 to 12 credits for that entire academic semester. And with that, this does not add to the credits. You're required to complete 120 credits here at Montclair in order to receive your degree. But that 3 to 12 is already part of that 120. So it's not what they call additive credit. It's not going to push out the fact that, you know, maybe I might be at Montclair much longer because of this program. That's typically not the case, because we don't try to. Additive credit is credit beyond the 120, and your career advisor, he or she, is going to do the best they can to make sure that those 12 credits, say, fit right into your program and get you right up to the 120 for graduation.
And another question, do you have to go to Higher Red Hawk to get to Focus 2?
No. So let's go there. We can go back here. So again, we're at montclair.edu/career services. Scroll down. Let's see. You go to career counseling. Actually, wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't listen to me. I made a mistake. So let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Where is it?
If you want, I can jump in on this one.
Yeah, please. Christy Sandella.
So Focus 2, I believe the easiest way to get to Focus 2 is to go through your Higher Red Hawk account, although you can find it on the website. If you scroll up to current students, Adam, or students, I'm sorry, not current students. There's a tab on the left-hand side that says Explore Majors and Careers.
There it is.
And there's information about self-assessment there, but if you click into about self-assessment, it will go into Focus 2, as well as some other tools that you might want to utilize for self-assessment purposes.
So again, Christy said we can go from the main page. So students on the left-hand side, and then we want to click on Explore Majors and Careers. Then we got getting closer, right? 2 more clicks. About self-assessment, and then there's Focus 2. And again, you want to use this access code, Red Hawk rather, when you create your account. So let's put it this way. This is the registration page. Now, you do not have an account yet, so you're not going to click on Login. You're going to click on Register. Registers here. We know we put in Red Hawk, the rest of our information, and then you select Presidential Scholar. It's a good resource. It tends to be pretty helpful. And again, that's Focus 2 and how to get there.
I think that's all the questions that we have.
Okay. So let's pop back in here so you guys get credit for attending. You know, if you're looking at this on your tablet or your laptop, you want to scan this QR code. So this will give you credit for sort of attending. Let's see. This will, like I said, this will also be archived on our YouTube page. So if you're viewing this webinar on your phone, obviously I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to scan the QR code right there, but you can always fast forward to the end once it's archived on the YouTube channel and scan it at that point. So thank you everyone for attending today's webinar, Making the Most of Career Services. Once you leave today's webinar, you'll receive a survey on this presentation. Please provide your feedback, as this will help us improve our services. Thank you again for joining us today, and be sure to take advantage of career services and have a great rest of the semester.